Hi everyone, hope you're doing well from wherever you're watching this channel, depending on your time zone. Now, we are all aware about the ongoing war between the executive and the judiciary. It was started by William Ruto, and to some extent, we see judiciary pouring hot and cold air at the same time. Where CJ Mother Koome stand out and rubbishes what Ruto is saying. Again, in another statement, she comes out and says that she's looking for audience with William Ruto. She really called for the dialogue between her and Ruto. With all this, then Kenyans are asking so many questions. What is this that CJ Mother Koome want to discuss with William Ruto over the judiciary? So in one of the interviews at KTN News, the veteran senior counsel KHAMINWA was asked some question that since the independence, because he's a man who has been there for long, to date, has there happened a situation whereby any of the presidents from Kenyatta, Moi, Kibaki, Uhuru, and now Ruto, who has had a dialogue with the judiciary to do with the cases in the court? His answer is a big no. It has never happened. It should never happen, and no one should think about that. For Moi, he was accused for many things, including human rights and all those, but he never reached a level whereby he wanted to influence cases in the court. For Kibaki, he was the best ever. A man who never interfered with the judicial system. With Uhuru Kenyatta, we know it was all about disobeying court orders. But he never went to an extent of pushing the judiciary to an extent whereby now they have to sit down and discuss on some issues. But for Ruto, he is really pushing for this. Something that KHAMINWA is saying that after Ruto's retirement, maybe there will be a judicial inquiry on the manner in which Ruto interfered with the judiciary. So it is also dangerous for William Ruto. It's a warning to Ruto and CJ Mother Koome.
Wakili, you have been around for quite a long time.
Yes.
Have you seen an instance with the other CJs who've served there before who had to talk with the president?
Absolutely no. It is never done. That is never done at all. Nowhere. I may tell you there was one president of the Court of Appeal who probably, in my view, has been one of the best judges that Kenya has had. He was the president of the Court of Appeal for East Africa, Sir Charles Newbold. When Sir Charles Newbold was leaving, I remember very well a ceremony was held for him in the court. And that Charles Njonjo was then the Honorable Attorney General, had to address him. The president of the Law Society or the chairman of the Law Society at that time had also to address him. And the president of the Court of Appeal, then Sir Charles Newbold, had also to address the audience. And I remember him saying one thing in favor of Mzee Jomo Kenyatta. He said for all the time he had sat in Kenya, and Mzee Jomo Kenyatta had been a president of the Republic of Kenya, at no stage did he ever get any impression that the judicial process was being interfered with by the president. That was a very good compliment. That was a very good compliment.
So no president since independence has had a sit down with the judiciary?
No. Mzee Jomo Kenyatta never did it. Moi never did it. There was an exception of one case, I think, when some bodies had to be exhumed in the Rift Valley, where there was some little talk, but there was no evidence at all. So that although Daniel Arap Moi is accused of some human rights violations, one cannot say that ever went out to interfere with the judicial process at all. James Karugo was then the Attorney General, and I recall very well, there's no time when anybody ever said that Mzee Daniel Arap Moi was interfering with the judiciary. Mzee Mwai Kibaki never interfered with the judiciary at all. The recent president, Uhuru Kenyatta, as far as I can remember, the only area of disagreement was not complying with the court orders. But at no stage did someone say that he was trying to interfere with the judiciary to get decisions or to get audience at all. Yes. With tremendous respect to our president, he is opening a dangerous chapter in the judicial and legal history of the country. After his departure, or when he ceased to be a president, these could become issues, and he could find that there are some individuals who are now want to press that these matters should again be looked at by the courts. Let us avoid that kind of situation.
The president is out of order.
Yes, the president, with respect, is out of order. What he is doing with respect is wrong.
Okay.
Now we are continuing this final discussion, but just a quick request. For those who are watching and you have not yet subscribed, please consider subscribing. To our returning subscribers, I must say thank you so much. And again, to all our viewers, please give this video a thumbs up. Thank you so much, and back to this discussion. So imagine, since independence, a time whereby even a president had absolute power because the old constitution gave more power to the president. It never happened that a president had to sit down with the president of the court to discuss cases in the court. Kenyatta had such absolute power, the same power that Moi enjoyed. What if Ruto was enjoying the same power today, that we don't have the 2010 constitution? Mambo yangekuwa namna gani? Now that we have the 2010 constitution that gives power to the people, to the judiciary, to the National Assembly, then executive, is divided and diluted. But he still comes out to an extent now, pushing judiciary to have a dialogue with him. Just look at that. If it was not for this 2010 constitution, today we'll have a dictator in this country. But he pushes and reaches a level whereby there is limit. That when you go beyond this, it means you are breaking law. Therefore, you also welcome Kenyans to do the same. Then you have no country to govern. KHAMINWA is clear that the push that we are seeing today, in other words, what KHAMINWA is saying is that CJ Mother Koome, by the fact that she is welcoming Ruto for a dialogue, she is calling for judicial capture by his executive. She is surrendering now. And she's welcoming William Ruto to come and capture the judiciary. And when Ruto will capture judiciary, he is not safe also. This is what he's saying. That in his retirement, he should be aware that there can be an inquiry into how he captured the judiciary, influenced the ruling, and all that can land him in a huge problem. Sasa sione tu ako sawa, amesukuma watu, saizi wanasema ya kwamba we are now looking for a dialogue to end these attacks. It is also not safe for him that in his retirement, someone can have concrete evidence on him and he will be in court to battle such a kind of a case. Naona ile mambo inafanyika South Africa, it will soon maybe happen here. Naona Zuma peleko mahakama na mambo mengine kama hayo. So it's only during Ruto's time when we can see a president who is really focused on bringing down the judiciary to act in his favor. And many questions like KHAMINWA would ask, what is this discussion that Ruto want to have with the Koome? What will they be discussing? Imagine Ruto sitting here, Koome hapa. They are discussing about cases in the court. Executive anahusianaje kuongea kuhusu kesi ambazo ziko kotini na CJ Koome? Independence means I have evidence through the legal process. I have AG, there's an office, take the matter to the court, battle it, produce your evidence, and CJ will act on that. There you have not interfered with any judicial functions. But your case will be ruled based on evidence. You have evidence, you're not presenting evidence, you want to discuss with them. It means the only thing Ruto is looking for is the judicial capture. Wakati executive itakuwa imecapture judiciary, hatutakuwa na NSA in this country. So Ruto will go down in books, if at all such a meeting can happen, as the only president who intimidated the judiciary and forced to discuss cases in the court with a judge in the name of Mother Koome. He will be the first president according to KHAMINWA. But KHAMINWA is clear, it's never done like that. A CJ should never have a talk or a discussion with the president to do with the matters in the court. It should never happen. Their line of communication, it's a way Ruto has representatives in the judicial in the judiciary. He can use that channel to raise his complaint and concerns. But having this discussion, then a judge will make any ruling in this country. Tutajua watu watakuwa na conclude, hey, ile walikuwa wakubaliana na Ruto. Hey, I'm a rule in favor of Ruto. That will be the perception. Hata kama they will be genuine in their ruling, that will be the conclusion of majority of us. Tutakuwa tunachukulia hivyo. So let them be aware. KHAMINWA has told us clear, and Ruto should just stop there. I don't know your views, but let us submit in the comment section to continue with this discussion. Thank you so much, and see you in our next video.